everybody! Get my $200 course on sale right now for $25, but only for a limited time. So click the link in the description box with the coupon code already applied. Hey everybody, this is Bree, and in this tutorial, I want to show you how I achieved the Tekashi hair color using my hair extensions from MrsRudders.com. If you don't know, right now he is one of the hottest rappers coming out of New York, and I want to show you how I actually achieved his hair color using my hair extensions. So I used 3 bundles of 18 inches and a 16-inch closure. And as you can see very quickly, I'm showing you all of the hair supplies you are going to need to achieve this color. And now what I did is I went ahead and blow dried my bundles, so that way I can release the waves, which makes it a lot easier to bleach. Now this process is extremely taxing on your hair, so I highly suggest that you do this with extensions or you go to a stylist if you want to make sure that you do not melt your hair. So what we're going to be doing at this point is we're going to mix some powdered bleach with 40 volume cream developer. We need to get this hair as white as possible for the color to show up extremely vibrant. Make sure that you fully mix your developer with your powdered bleach, so that way your mixture is not clumpy at all. I highly suggest that you just do a little bit of powder and a little bit developer and build it up as you go. You want to do a lot of batches so that way the mixture doesn't oxidize, which causes it to not lighten as much. Now you're gonna grab some aluminum foil and you wanna lay out 2 rows. The reason why is you wanna make sure that the hair is fully covered, because heat helps hair achieve a brighter tone color when you're actually bleaching it. Because to bleach hair means that you're removing the natural color that's in the hair. So in order to do that process, you wanna make sure that you're using high volume developer as well as foil to trap the heat within the hair. So back and forth along with my brush, I'm just smoothing along the ends of the hair and then working my way up going towards the weft. So as I've mentioned, if you want to actually do this color on your real hair, I highly suggest that you go to a stylist so that way they can pay careful attention to the health and texture of your hair to make sure that it's not over bleached. Because if you go too far, it can cause a lot of damage with your hair. So to experiment, of course, use hair extensions to do so. To make sure we don't miss any spots, I'm going to use the brush with the remaining of the mixture, and I'm going to make sure to apply it very close to the weft of the hair. The weft is the band at the top that's holding the hair on its track, so that way your hair actually stays in place once you're doing this process. So we're just going to continue to saturate all the way up near the weft. You don't have to cover the weft because the weft won't be seen when you actually sew in your hair extensions. Once you flip it over on the back, you're then going to finish coloring it. So as you can see, you have to make sure that you're opening up the hair so that way you don't miss any spots. Now what I did to actually begin layering my hair down for bleaching, I folded it in 4 pieces instead of 1 long roll. You can fold it however many times you want, but the more you fold it, the harder it may be to fully bleach all of the hair. So keep that in mind. Now I'm just gonna fold the aluminum foil to cover up the hair so that way the bleaching process can continue while I finish bleaching the rest of the bundles. So after bleaching the bundles, this is how it looks, and you want this to set for about 40 minutes before you rinse. Now it's time to bleach the lace closure, and this is the 16-inch lace closure from MrsRudders.com. Now in order to bleach without over bleaching the lace, you're going to part very thin layers of hair and you're going to comb it through so that way some of the bleach can actually get on the hair. Now we're going to use a mascara wand, a clean wand, and you want to dip it in the mixture and roll it against the roots of the hair. This is going to be extremely important for you when you actually begin coloring the hair with the permanent hair color. At this point, I'm just using the brush to further smooth it into the roots. Just 1 bleaching application, this is how bright the hair looks. As you can tell, the hair is not that flattering at this point, and that's because I did not tone the hair and I am not done bleaching it. And here what you see is when I bleached the hair 4 times because I wanted to literally become as white as possible so that all of the colors can show up very vibrant. Now we're going to begin sewing the lace closure on the dome cap. If you're interested in any materials that I'm using throughout this tutorial, go down into the description box to check out the links that I've provided for you. So now I'm going to begin sewing on one side of the closure to the dome head. And as you can see there, that helps me to locate exactly where I want to place it by drawing the needle through the lace and then through the cap. In position, I'm then going to go back through the cap and under the lace. When I come out, I wrap the thread around the needle once and then I pull through to create a knot. That is the exact knot technique that you're going to use throughout the entire process to create your wig. So once again, you can even twirl the string in your fingers if you wanted to, or you can just take the needle and wrap it around twice to pull through and form a knot. I was actually really excited to do this tutorial because I have never seen a rapper push the boundaries when it comes to showing off their hair in such a fashionable way. And I actually got a lot of requests from guys to actually show how to achieve this look, but a lot of my tutorials cater to women, so I'm gonna show how it can be wearable for women, as well as giving some advice for guys who want to pull off this color as well. So you're gonna sew all the way up on one side and create the knot, and then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Always go back and forth when you're stitching knots on the closure so that the tension is even going all the way around, so that way you don't actually sew your closure in a shifted manner. So after forming 2 knots twice, you then cut off the remaining string, and this is how one side looks. After I finished doing it, I went ahead and sewed all the bundles except for one more row, and I'm going to show you how to actually stitch it, because remember, it's the same exact knotting technique as you see here when I make the needle go around the string twice to pull through and create a knot. Now, one important thing that I want you to do is make sure that you get as close to the lace as possible. You don't want to sew going through the edges of your actual lace closure, because this can ruin the integrity of your closure. So I like to sew through the cap right against the lace closure so that it's as snug as possible. So you just keep going and keep stitching until you create your last knot and remove off the remaining weft. And then you're going to tie about 2 more knots to make sure it's secured. And this is how it looks. Look at how bright this hair color is. This is gonna look so bomb when I actually add the semi-permanent color to the hair. I put the wig on to show you how super vibrant it looks right before I begin coloring. This process actually took a pretty long time. When it came to bleaching, you want to make sure that you're careful. And to take out the guesswork, I highly suggest that you go ahead and purchase some already blonde bundles to make the process easier. So now what I'm going to do is quickly show you the colors that I'm actually going to color with. Now, in order to achieve his hair color, it's very important that you section the hair right. His hair looks like it's dipped in so many variety of colors. And I have a graph here you can screenshot, so that way you know exactly where the color placement will be. So we're going to use T-pins to pin the wig to the mannequin head so that it doesn't slide off. And this right here is one of the most crucial parts to this tutorial, because the placement of this color will decide whether or not you have a Tekashi look going on or not. So at the back part of the hair where half the head is, I'm gonna actually section off 2 pieces. Then I'm gonna grab a smaller section right above it. The 4 quadrants in the back, the bottom 2 are a little bigger than the top 2 quadrants right above it. And when I finish sectioning it off, you will see exactly what I mean. So in order to make this process very easy for you so that you don't mix the colors up too much, you want to make sure to use a lot of clips to keep the hair sectioned, because once a drop of hair paint touches this blonde hair, it will stay. Now that we're at the top, I'm going to divide the top in 4 sections, because when I was looking through his photos, it seems as though he only had about 4 colors in the front. They slightly change at times, but they pretty much stay consistent with this parting. So make sure that you're parting it exactly how I'm parting it, because like I said, the most important parts of pulling off this look is making sure that you have your parting on point. So right after I finish parting it, I'm gonna tell you which colors is for which section. This is Shocking Blue, Atomic Turquoise, Electric Lizard, Sunshine, Psychedelic Sunset, Hot Pink, Lilacs, and Wildfire. Now it's time to do some color, and I'm going to teach you the example with using the hot pink hair color on these hair extensions. So what you want to do is make sure you are covering all parts of the hair. No hair is to be left behind if you want to achieve a flawless look with this color. Now make sure that you're separating thin amounts of sections of hair, and make sure that you're painting both sides before you separate them again. This ensures you don't miss any spots. And feel free to use your hands. Don't worry about it getting a little messy, because it will since we're using hair color. But in between colors, make sure you rinse your gloves with cold water. Now this is how one section looks fully saturated. And look at that, I got a little bit of hair color on some of the hair. So in order to clean that up, you just use your scissors and you trim going at a downward angle very gently. And once I pull the hair all together, you can see we are good to go. Now for this section, I am going to be using yellow paint as I told you before. Remember, at any time, if you feel a little bit confused about any steps, just go back a little bit so that you can catch up to where you may have gotten a little bit confused. But this is a very simple process, and I want to show you how to make sure that you're actually coloring near your lace closure without staining your lace. Remember about this mascara wand? That's why it comes in handy so much, because it helps you to put the color on the hair and not on the lace. You only need to use a mascara wand to color the hair when you're working on the lace closure. You do not need the mascara wand when you're working on the bundles. So now, as you can see here, I'm making sure no spot is left behind. This is how it looks with the roots saturated. I went ahead and finished painting the rest of the hair yellow, making sure to use my hands to smooth in the product. Make sure that you purchase enough hair paint, because the thicker or the more bundles of hair that you use, the more color you will need to use for your hair. If you have thin hair naturally and you're going to be doing this process on your own real hair, then you don't have to buy as much paint. So just keep that in mind. And I'm just really quickly showing you all the sections. And I use saran wrap to keep the colors separate as they penetrate the hair. And this is just a couple of stills showing you how the color looks going all the way around. The color turned out so perfect, and it looks so vibrant that it's almost shocking to see how rich the color looks, especially when you're seeing it in real life. But the video is picking up the color absolutely perfectly, exactly the way that it turned out. And really quick, I want to show you how to get your hair ready for your wig. So I did not braid my hair, I just slicked my hair down and put a ponytail in the back. And I'm wearing a nude color stocking cap to make sure that it blends really well with the lace. And as you can see, a little bit of my hairline is left out, and you don't want that. You want to make sure to pull your cap going past your hairline so none of the roots of your real hair show, because this whole wig is colored and my hair is dark. So I want to make sure that my hairline is fully colored so that you don't notice it when I'm wearing my wig. So this is how it should look, and at this point we are good to go. Now here we go with the wig, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are watching. This color is so fun to do, but it is pretty taxing, especially if you have to do the entire bleaching process. So I highly suggest, like I've said, if you want to do this color, to make sure that you buy bleached bundles first to help save time. So you're just going to pull the front of the wig going past your wig cap, and you're going to pull the back. Now make sure that when you're making your wig, the dome head is actually the same size as your real head so that you have a very snug fit so that the wig doesn't go nowhere. So now really quick, I'm gonna show you how the front looks now that the wig is finished. But I'm not done just yet, because I wanna show you how amazing this hair looks with just a little bit of curls. So I'm grabbing my section and combing through. And I also put hairspray on the hair to give it a little more hold for these curls. Now, usually he does not have his hair curled. I don't think I even saw one picture of his hair in any type of stylish look. Every time he gets his hair done, it seems as though he probably gets a blowout and then gets it flat ironed. But just for creative purposes, I'm gonna put a few big curls in my hair to show you how it looks. And if you want to know, I'm using a 1 and 1.5 inch curler so that I can get these wide barrel curls on my hair. So just really quickly, to make this look not as tame, just a little messy, I'm gonna use my fingers and run through the curls so that I can loosen them up just a tad bit. So as you can see, this is how beautiful the color turned out, and putting a little bit of curls in it helped to show off the color even more. But like I said, he always wears his hair straight, so you can choose to do whatever you want with your hair. I had so much fun making this, and I would love for all of you to go to his Instagram and tell him that I made this tutorial in inspiration of his look. And let me know down in the comments what you think of him as a rapper. Do you like his music? Do you not like his music? Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more amazing hair tutorials, because I got some cool stuff coming on the way. Hey everybody, get my $200 course on sale right now for $25, but only for a limited time. So click the link in the description box with the coupon code already applied.